I'm at the intersection of 38th and Chinden in Garden City, Idaho. Chinden is a United States highway managed by our state DOT, the Idaho Transportation Department. 38th Street is managed by the Ada County Highway District. Here in the Boise area, cities do not have their own street departments. We have a separate county-wide highway agency that manages that. Garden City is one of the most economically challenged areas in the Boise region, and the people that live in this neighborhood on the south side of Chinden are geographically isolated due to a bench that exists behind here. This is one of their few outlets. We were doing a Garden City Livable Streets plan 7 years ago, and we observed many people crossing at this location to get to this convenience store. And you might say, well, it's just a convenience store. Well, it's the only food outlet within several miles of here. And if you go into that convenience store, you can see that they know that. They stock things on those shelves that you don't see in a normal convenience store. When we look at the traffic engineering of this, it's a 5-lane, typical hideous American road. If I do what the engineers want me to do to cross here, I would walk down to that signal at Orchard and cross. I have to cross a high-speed slip lane to do so. I have to wait for a very long signal cycle and walk back to here. That's a 12-minute trip one way. The nearest signal with a pedestrian crossing is nearly 2,400 feet to the west. That signal in the foreground is a signal for a fire station and has no pedestrian signal or crosswalk. So after we observed this, we asked the Idaho Transportation Department and the Ada County Highway District to do that magical MUTCD signal warrant analysis. And what that says for something like a pedestrian hybrid beacon or what's called a hawk signal is we need 20 pedestrians in an hour willing to risk their lives to cross Chinden in order to justify that. That's how the MUTCD compromises safety. So we asked them to do it. They did it. And they found that they had 18 pedestrians in the peak hour willing to risk their lives to get food. Ironically, there were also 4 motorists from this neighborhood that crossed Chinden, went to the convenience store, and crossed back. Would MUTCD allow us to count those as likely pedestrian trips if we had a safe crossing here? Oh, of course not. So when we think about things like that, signal warrants, and value of time, we often hear that, hey, we gotta count for motorist level of service. We can't delay them. You see the person crossing up there. But they want us to walk 12 minutes out of our way just to cross the street. A 24-minute round trip just to get food. Beyond the food issue, down at the end of this block by maybe a third of a mile is the Boise River Greenbelt, another access point and an active transportation corridor for our region. Would we make motorists drive 12 minutes out of their way just to cross a street? No, we'd never do that. But because of the strict adherence to MUTCD, we're denying some of the most economically challenged areas of the Boise region safe access to food, to recreation. That's how MUTCD is killing the people of this country.